When you're writing a really intense emotional scene, how do you keep the writing from feeling melodramatic? This commenter is asking specifically about how to avoid melodrama in first-person point of view, but the thing is, the trick to this doesn't actually change depending on what point of view you're writing in, because avoiding melodrama comes from a bit of a broader umbrella issue, and it doesn't necessarily come down to specific word choice. And don't hate me for this, but this is a show don't tell thing. Melodrama, in my opinion, comes because your character is reacting to an emotion that the reader cannot empathize with and cannot experience alongside them. Usually I see this happen because the emotion gets named directly. So I'm so devastated that it feels like my heart is being put into a wood chipper. Even though there's descriptive language in there, the devastation is still what you're relying on. The wood chipper then is hyperbolic. It's big, it's dramatic, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, especially if that's the way that your character often talks. It's missing a foundation, which is the why. And unless the why is self-evident, unless because of the scene that preceded that line, your reader also feels like their heart is being put into a wood chipper, that disconnect is going to make that line feel melodramatic. So avoiding melodrama is fundamentally about fostering that connection and making sure that your reader is experiencing the same emotions that your character is experiencing, which means looking at your character and looking at that situation and asking yourself, okay, why is my character so devastated right now? Why is this so particularly intense for them? And if that scene alone isn't enough to make your reader feel what they're feeling, it's probably because they don't have the context to understand what your character is going through. They don't have your character's memories, your character's goals, their hopes, their dreams, their fears. You might show your character getting broken up with in chapter 1, but if the reader hasn't experienced the way that that character experiences that relationship, it's going to be hard for the reader to relate. So instead of talking about the heart in a wood chipper, connect the reader instead to what that character is thinking about the past and the future. In big, difficult emotional times, our minds move a mile a minute. If the character's boyfriend is wearing a coat that the character gave them, and the character suddenly remembers the birthday celebration and how sweet it was and how in love they were, that's going to give the reader more context. It's going to help the reader understand what that character is losing, which will help them experience that loss alongside them. Ditto then if the character starts thinking forward. I'm never going to have another experience like that. Here is how my life is going to change because of this. Writing emotionally isn't just about describing emotion, it's about trying to help the reader understand what that emotion means in the full context of that character's life. I hope that helps, and if it did, this is the kind of thing that I write blogs about and do longer form videos about over on Patreon, so feel free to come and check it out and find me over there.